Hello guys, this is the Man Mechanic here. Hello there again. Now, what we're doing today, we put the crankshaft and con rods in and connect them to the journals. Now, as you can see, I've done all the measurements on the journals and they're pretty good actually. Assistant, if you'd like to just have a look in here. Okay. See the journals there. And all you got to do, see this bit here, that's just where they're old and that's an oil mark. So don't worry too much about them. But all we do here to fit bearings on the main bearings is all they are is a little tag there that fits into that tag there. The best way I do it is to put that tag into there like that, hold it down and then push the bearing in so it's nice and tight like that. Okay, that's the main bearing. There's a number on the top, that's a 6. Now these have got to be you've got to make sure these are the right way around because these are line bored when they're brand new. So what they do is they put the main bearings in before the crankshaft, they tighten them all up and then they put a big line bore all the way through. If you go the other way, you'll find that the bearing could be slightly offset. So they've got to go round the same way as the numbers. You've got 6, 6, and there's a 6 on there as well. Okay, now to install the main bearings, just a squeeze of oil, so when it first starts up it's not dry, making sure that the bearing numbers are the right way round, and you just push the bearing into it like that. And then it's the 2 main bearing bolts, and you then hand tighten them up like this. Now you've got to be very careful when you do these up because you've got to do them up so then when you tighten them up, the crankshaft has got to rotate so there's no high spots, no low spots, and it's nice and smooth. Now as I've done these before, I know for a fact that these are okay. So all I do is just put the main bearing in and just nip it up like that. And then what we do is we torque these up in a minute. Now, the other ones are what they call the big end bearings, which are these, which is connected to the pistons. It's exactly the same principle. So, you drop the nut inside, which always goes well. So it's exactly the same principle. So you put the bearing in with a little lip in there like that, and then you squeeze a bit of oil. You can never go too much with a bit of oil, as Fanny Craddock used to say. Now on these, they've got some numbers. So you've got number 2 on there. So you've got 1 for number 1, number 2, and the 2 must line up. So the 2 and the 2. Again, because they're line bored, okay? So when they're brand new, they're done. So you just stick that together like that and put that on. Now, where's the bolt, which is, I've just got stuck down there. Can you believe that? What you're doing, just nip them up so they're nice and what they call hand tight. And what we do is we do the crankshaft first of all, and then we'll do the big end bearings. What you're supposed to do really is the big end bearings first of all, but as these pistons are still in, and then what you do is you put the pistons in and you put the con rods in afterwards and then you connect them all up. But it's actually easier to do it this way. So what you're doing is you put the main bearings in, give it a little turn round, make sure that there's no low and high spots. And as you can see through that, that is smooth as a baby's bottom. Torquing up the main bearings, they're 50 to 55 pounds per square inch. So what I tend to do is I always start off at 44. And the reason I do 44 is because what you're doing is you're doing like a gradual. So what you're doing is I always start from the middle and work outwards, because then just in case any problems. So what you're doing is you're doing that until you get a click. like that. Now that's 44 pounds per square inch. So again, you do it until you get a nice little click, like that. And then we go over to the outside ones. That was like that. And then like that. And then the other ones at the end. Right, so that is 44 pounds per square inch. And what we do then is we then do and make sure that it's nice and smooth. There's no high spots, there's no low spots, and it's nice and smooth. Now, if it gets caught up, there's obviously a problem somewhere. Either one, you've got the wrong bearings, or two, there's something top up of it, or you're not putting it in properly. So you have to take it all apart and start again. Now, what we do now, we do a final one, which is 50 to 55. So we go 50, 1, 2, and I always go 52. I don't know why, but that's how I do it. So you tighten it up to 52 pounds per square inch. That's it, that's 52, 52, 52, 52. Right, that's the final torque for the main bearings. And again, what we do, nicely check, make sure everything is nice and smooth, which is what it is. Look at that, like as smooth as a baby's backside. Now the other thing you got to think about is in here, you've got thrust washers. I'm not going to show you how to do them. They're quite self-explanatory. When you put these on, inside the front here, you've got thrust washers. You put them in and you roll them around, and all that does, it takes up the end play of the crankshaft. The best way to do them, I've checked this all anyway, so it's fine, is to put a screwdriver or a small bar in there and move the bearing like that, and move the crankshaft, and then measure with a feeler gauge or a micrometer, and you'll get the right distance. Because what you don't want to do is that to be moving too much, because then that'll wear the whole of the crankshaft and it'll just rattle and noise and make a noise. So that's all done. So the crankshaft's done, that's all in, and it's exactly the same with the con rods. The only thing you've got to worry about with the con rods is when you do them up, to 30, 38, 30 to 40 pounds per square inch, and then you just, these little tabs on here, you just knock them over and it stops them tags from coming under. All right guys, that is the crankshaft and the con rods. Thanks for watching, and I will see you very soon.